Just want to start this episode by dropping a quick thank you to the new subscribers on the channel. Espresso Cat Plays, Elliot Cozier, Gordon Bell, Old Lady Plays, who was the wonderful guest on my podcast this week. The podcast, by the way, is called Conversations with Complete Strangers. Go check it out. It's on everything. The Trucking Football Manager, Rick Bone, Tom Lee, Dodgy Gamer, and Wolf Tracks are the ones that are popping up as being new. If you've joined and you haven't popped up, I apologise, but those are the names I have, and I don't know how to make your subscriptions public without you doing it. So, good times. If you want to join them and get your name listed at the start of a video for funsies, then subscribe below, ring the bell as well, why would you not? And yeah, maybe hit that like button. I'm going to set a challenge actually. I found out my record for a video is 7 likes, so let's make it to 10. Can we get to 10 likes? That would massively improve my week. Let's try that, shall we? 10 likes for a Friday. I reckon we can do it. But let's get into some content. And like I said, straight in with some content. So, you've missed exactly one game since the last episode. We played ChasingLamely away. We beat them 2-1. You can see the upshot of that here. Lashar scored himself a goal, got player of the match. Guargis scored himself a goal. It's a slightly weaker team than I think we're used to seeing in the league. There are reasons for that, mostly just resting players ready for the Champions League. I felt like we were a good enough team to win games without necessarily having the full first team out, especially ChasingLamely, who are not anywhere near the top of the league. Some transfer action as well here, hoping for the second leg of this game, which we'll play after the first leg. We're playing Young Boys today. Insert your innuendo. Kjell Sherpen will probably join us. He's a goalkeeper from Ajax. He was recommended by my director of football. He's coming on loan. But I feel like Kuszak is aging a little bit, so it might be time that we, start looking for replacements from both short and long term. Archie Davis as well, hopefully coming in, ex-Brighton player. Again, highly recommended. I was looking for an extra utility player. I didn't have to register. And Roy Toll is going out on loan, one of the guys we brought in over the summer, just to see if we can develop him. In terms of players, I don't think I brought anyone in. Did I bring anyone in? I brought in Daniel Owusu since the last episode. I wouldn't expect to see him. Not anytime soon. He's an ex-Droktersen player. Hamburg and St. Pauli. He's been around a bit. He was just recommended by my scouts. I'm not sure why, because they always didn't read his ability well, but that happens. Like, sometimes the scouts just don't get things right. And no one has gone out of any significance. Berger has been sold to Pugon. I didn't think he was going to develop into a first team player. He was starting to moan about not getting first team football, so I thought we'd let him go and save ourselves the hassle. So we're going into the game against Young Boys. Let's go to the fixtures screen. That's a good idea, so we can all see what's going on. Young Boys, of course, the Swiss champions, the perennial Swiss champions, it feels like. They are the favourites, but you kind of expect. The weather is horrendous. We've got 3 players unregistered, but that's fine. We've also got Luka Racic and Finson out injured, and therefore, theoretically available. We're not going to risk them for a first leg game. If we need a win in the second, we might consider it. So, this is the starting lineup for today. We've got Kuszak in goal, possibly making his last appearance for the club. Dankowski, Puerto, Raggett and Stiglitz ahead of them. Stiglitz has just been offered a new contract. We'll see how that goes. So is Dankowski, actually. We're hoping he'll sign his new contract. Longstaff and Zivalic in the centre of midfield. Masonda, Slattery and Placheta ahead of them. And Kierev Wright playing up top. Obviously no restrictions, having to have an under-22 Polish player in the team. So we've taken a little bit of advantage of that, because the only player I think I have in the squad on a regular basis that fits that is Lashas and possibly Samiek Talar, who are on the bench alongside Nico Williams, Holovnia, Hipper, Yankovic and Ledley, which should be interesting. Yeah, so no big misses today. Racic obviously normally would have played. He's 5 days away, should be for the second leg. Same with Finson, who would normally probably be on the bench. But we'll make it work somehow. Let's get into the game. Let's see if we can pick up a shock win at the Stade de Suisse Wankdorf. Insert your own innuendo again. Honestly, they make it really, really hard to play against young boys. Really shouldn't be playing with young boys on this game. Sorry, I told you I couldn't resist making jokes. I told you I couldn't resist. Any big name players we recognise here? Spielman, who frankly is the most footballer name I've heard in a while. Bilingual bonus for those of you who speak German, and for those of you who don't, feel free to look it up. Otherwise, no one stands out. Von Bollmoos in goal. I almost want to sign him just so I have to say Von Bollmoos a lot, but I'm not going to, because that would get annoying even for me, and I'm a man of simple pleasures, hence why I can't avoid making jokes about young boys. So what they're going to say in the tunnel interview. Do we feel like he matches our ambitions? Probably. It's not the best weather. I don't care, to be honest. How you approach the task of breaching the Champions Cup's best defence? Well, it's probably still not the best defence in the Champions League after this round. Marvin Spielman comes into this match having provided some impressive displays in recent weeks. Do you have a plan to stop him? We'll say we've had some ideas in training. I've literally just found out he exists, but let's pretend we were ready for him, and hope our assistant manager actually was ready for him. Right, into the game. I'm hoping we can get an early goal and control things from here on out. That of course would be the dream. Just get that early goal, get control of things. But it looks like they've got a free kick. Spielman whips it in. It's got everything else. That had that look of being like they're about to give away a penalty. Zivilic clears the ball, and for some reason we've got super slow-mo cam, and I don't know why, because that's going to really, really annoy me. So let's hope that goes well. Cyndi Lauper's in there though, so that's always a winner. Cyndi Lauper again. Cyndi Lauper's making all of the changes to the game, I guess. Garcia to Avisher. That was a name I was never destined to be able to pronounce. Ungamalu. He's into the box, crosses it for Cyndi Lauper. Cyndi Lauper has scored. And I guess girls really do just want to have fun, and they're having fun at our expense, and that's never, ever going to be okay. Gotta hope that doesn't happen again. Ungamelo gets straight through, whips it into Cyndi Lauper. Cyndi Lauper at the back post beats Kuszak, who is of course old enough to remember her music career, and sadly so am I. Let's concentrate on the game. Let's see if that does anything. It doesn't really do anything. Perfect. That's what I wanted all along. It was all a ruse. They've been overwhelmed by being told to concentrate on playing their football. Garcia now with the throw. And what can we just try and defend against them? That would be nice. Spielman puts it through to Asale. Asale through. Kuszak comes off his knees. It says tip behind, but that definitely came off his knees. They've got themselves a corner, so we're going to have to hope we can do better with this. Let's try and head it clear. Zivilic back out to Spielman. Come on, someone get rid of it. Ali Kamara over the bar, and we are once again in the clear. But it was a lucky escape, and hoping I can make another shout sometime soon, because I need to show some passion. Passion, please. Good work. Fired up by being asked to show some passion. That's what I want. I just want to. We're good enough to make a quick break here if we want to. Cyndi Lauper whips it in. Ungamelo at the back post, and Kuszak has palmed it wide. It's slightly harder going than I anticipated this, I'll be honest. Longstaff heads the ball clear. Spielman has picked up the ball again on the wing. What can Spielman do? He's turned his man. That was a good start. Longstaff blocks a shot, but what was this we thought? It was short. It was Longstaff, Matty Longstaff. Just no idea what he was doing there. And Kuszak claims the corner, and hopefully we can get back into trying to change the game. Zivilic is tiring. I don't know if he picked up a knock and I didn't notice, but that's slightly concerning. I mean, I don't mind bringing on Joe Ledley there. I normally would have preferred to start Joe Ledley, but the assistant manager gave me good reasons when I asked his opinion as to why I should start Zivilic, and I thought it made sense. It says on him being more aggressive, but it's not really helping us. I'm starting to think maybe Ledley is a better defensive player than Zivilic, so maybe that would have been a slightly wiser move. But we'll see. We'll see if we can make things work. We're going to the 40th minute. I was tempted to do a little shout then, but it feels redundant just before half time. They've got a corner. Spielman's going to whip it in. Let's get it away. Ali Camara heads it straight over the bar. That's a goal kick, and hopefully the end of the highlight. If we can go 1-0 down, actually away at Young Boys, that wouldn't be too bad, because I feel like we're good enough to get a goal at home against them. Obviously that would tie up the tie, and if we can get one we can get two, but if we can get a goal here, I'd like to have an away goal to bring back to Wrocław. Stiglitz now, I think that's the first highlight I've seen from his ages. Raggett, ball all the way back to the keeper, to Kuszak. What can Thomas Kuszak do with it? He spent ages on the ball there. Finds Zivilic, who really needs to prove himself to me a little bit, because I'm yet to see a decent performance from him this season. Zivilic just holding on too long, finally releases it to Longstaff, who finds Slattery. What's Slattery got? A ball back to Longstaff. Let's go out to the wing. We'd be okay. Dankowski, can he beat his man? Doesn't look like it. He played himself into trouble over there. Masonda with a cross in though. Placetta on the back post, off the crossbar. Ball going back out to Dankowski, but we're not going to see him whip it back in, which I have no doubt he would have attempted to, because that's just the kind of player he is, and some of our defenders are actually having really poor games. Let's do a shout. Let us demand more, and hope demanding more achieves something. Not really. Well, that's worrying. Now Dankowski's picked up a yellow card. I can't really afford to take him off because Nico Williams actually isn't fit enough to play. I just needed him to make up numbers on the bench. Puerto to Longstaff. Longstaff needs to get to this. He doesn't. Spielman finds a Saleh, and all the defenders have gone to sleep. And we're in real trouble now, and that's 2-0. And we could be in actual trouble. That was really poor by Matty Longstaff. Really poor. I was almost tempted to take him off straight away just for that, but even I'm not quite that ruthless. Let's see if I can make any changes with a shout. I feel like shout-wise, get creative is the one here. It's just so poor. It was so poor. Just the whole defence goes to sleep. Skip that. I'm going to go into the tactics screen very quickly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and drop that defensive line back, because I feel like we're not actually achieving anything. And let's turn the offside trap off, because we don't seem to be doing anything with the offside trap anyway. I feel like dropping back might be the answer to some of our problems. They seem to be quite quick on the attack, so if we can use that to our advantage, that will be very helpful. I'm going to take Dankowski off. He's not having a great game. Nico Williams might just make it through to the end. He's not the ideal person to come on. Zivilic actually isn't playing badly. He's just tired, which is giving me some pause for thought. I feel like we'll take him off. We'll send Joe Ledley on. That Ledley-Longstaff combination has worked for us for a long time. Let's hope it can make some difference now. They've had a substitution forced upon them, which is always beneficial. Let's do another get creative shout, because we really do need to start looking at creating something special now. Bergil back to Lustenberger. What can he do from there? Hopefully nothing. Hopefully someone will close him down, but of course he's going to ping the ball over the top. Our defence, which I told to sit deeper, have gone wandering, and Kuszak was left exposed, and thankfully is equal to it. That was a really good example of them just not doing what I told them to do. I wasn't asking a lot of them, I don't think. I don't think I asked big things, just sit back on your line. Spielman back to Bergi. Ungamelu. Ball in. Kuszak again is equal to it, and Raggett just takes the easy way out, hoofs it into the crowd, gives away a corner, and I'm going to commit the cardinal sin here of making a sub while defending a corner. But I feel like I have to. And I don't know who it should be. My gut is saying Puerto, but I know Puerto is not going to get us a goal. So I think what I might do is I might take off Lebambo Masonda and bring on Peter Samiek Talar, because I'd like to see him make an impression on the game. That would be ideal. And Placheta now has headed it straight to him. He has got some pace to burn as Samiek Talar, but apparently we're not going to see any of it because that was the most uninspiringly pointless highlight ever. And now Slattery with a free kick. What can he do with it? Whips the ball in. Is there anyone on the end of it? There's only Van Boormoes. Van Boormoes makes the end of it, and he's kind of whipped it straight away to Cindy Lauper, and Asale is on the attack again. And our defenders are stood doing absolutely nothing as Fashnacht gets his way through. Kushak saves it. He should never have been in a position where he was the guy making that save, though. That ball should have been taken from him long before he got there. And I've got a feeling Akira Wright's done one of his weird switches of position again. He has. So let's make a switch of position with him. Any other changes I can make there to really better affect things? I'm going to move him to an attacking inside forward. Placheta I'm going to turn to a regular winger just for a little while because I feel like he does that better. And I feel like if I swap these two guys round, if it will let me, I move Matty Longstaff back to his preferred box-to-box role. Hopefully it will give me more options up front. It's kind of what I'm hoping. And let's get creative again. And let's see if we can inspire any kind of attacking play. We've dominated possession. We've not been too bad all the way through. That's what's really frustrating. And 2 goals is a big deficit to try and get back from in the second leg. So we'll see what happens. We've finished the second half. There was nothing to write home about. Really just generally awful all round. It's very hard for me to be overly impressed with that as a performance. But we'll see what happens. I'm going to go and play Poznan off screen because otherwise we're never going to get through this season. And then I'll come back and we'll bring some young boys home. I mean, we'll play young boys at home. God damn it, this is going to be really hard. And so, with one horrendous defeat just happened against Lech Poznan, I've yelled at a lot of the players because they performed badly against Lech, they performed badly against young boys. I've had a bit of a go at Akira Wright as well because his performances recently, as you can see, have not been stellar. It's been, what, 4 games since he last scored, which is not good for the guy who was the top scorer in the league last season, and I'm not terribly happy with it. So I gave him a good dressing down. He seemed to respond well, but also because the team have been playing really badly recently, I've made sweeping changes to the lineup. So you'll see here, Kushak's in goal, Dankowski keeps his position, which I debated heavily because he's been awful in the last couple of games. I almost wanted to put Nico Williams in. I'm just not quite sure it's the right choice, but it's definitely on my mind. Puerto and Raggett are at the back, and the central defenders, sorry, because I haven't really got anyone to replace them. Rakic isn't fit yet to play. Hipper I didn't feel like would be the right guy for a game like this, so I've dropped him. Halovnia comes out at left back ahead of Stiglitz because Stiglitz again has not been playing well recently. Finson comes in central midfield in place of Zivilic because Zivilic he's just being a little bitch. Longstaff is keeping his place. Guargis is coming on the right wing ahead of Masonda because Masonda again has not been performing terribly well lately. Slattery comes back in. He's on his last chance effectively. I prefer Lachas at this point. Slattery gets the nod because he is training well at least. He is technically the better player. He's also improving. So we'll see what happens. Placheta keeps his place because he's played well all season, so he deserves to stay. Akira Wright is very much on the bubble. I strongly considered playing Kotovitz in his place today, but I didn't pull the trigger in the end. On the bench we've got Masonda, Stiglitz, Ledley, Lachas, Rakic, Williams and Jankovic. I'm not sure if I'm making the right choice by not putting an out-and-out striker on the bench. We've got Lashas, who can play up top, Jankovic, who can play up top, Slattery can go up top, I believe Guardius can go up top if I really need him to. So there are options. We've also moved right to being an advanced forward, because whenever I play him as an advanced forward, he starts playing well as a pressing forward immediately afterwards, and then vice versa, and I don't understand why. His stats seem to be all over the place, so we'll see what happens. They're lining up with pretty much the same team as last time, which is concerning, and we are going to hope that we can overcome this 2-goal deficit. We've got to tell the team to do it for the fans, and they don't care about the fans. Guardius is told no pressure, and he just listened keenly, which is ideal. I don't care about the team I rarely care about. Are we happy with his performances? I mean, to be fair, this is the first time he's played them. We'll say we'll do it. We're going to refer to him as a Swiss Army knife to scare the Swiss team we're playing. We've spun a few surprises. We've picked the team with the best chance of winning. I don't know if we've got any team with a good chance of winning the way we've been playing recently, but hopefully they'll prove me wrong. We do need a 2-0 win. We're going to do an early get creative shout and see if we can get something on the board nice and early, because that would be the ideal. As I said in the last game, Kuszak with the goal kick to Puerto. Can we build something from the back here? That'll be ideal. Puerto's not supposed to be hoofing it. We're supposed to be playing tiki-taka, but Vright's picked it up. Longstaff already on a booking after 5 minutes, which is beautiful. Slattery back to Longstaff. Longstaff gets himself sent off. I'll be very disappointed in him. Placheta whips the ball across to Dankovsky, but Dankovsky is just nowhere near it. And we're wide open. Raggett's been left for dead. Puerto just does nothing. Kuszak tipped it over the bar, and frankly it should have been easier to catch that, but we'll let him off because at least he didn't let it in. Spielman with the corner headed away. Slattery should have done better with that. Really should have done better with that. We did bring the new goalkeeper in from Ajax. He wasn't registered to play, so tough, I think, is the way we're having to look at that. Puerto, though, just couldn't defend that. We're really relying on Kuszak to play like he wants to keep his place, and Asale's through, and we need to do something better than that. Honestly, the quality of our defending recently has been utterly appalling. I've got them training just to learn to defend again. It's really, really embarrassing, this defending. Okay, Raggett doesn't necessarily have the pace, that's fine, but someone should be covering him. That's just shocking, and now we need 4 goals, and you can't see us getting 4 goals. Although, Placheta's through. We show some passion, let's see if that works. Placheta just seems to hesitate before shooting them. No one seems to have any confidence in their ability. And now Fastnacht is through, and this is going to be a goal. Oh. It was a real let-off for us, that one. A real let-off for us. And that's just not okay. Throw in, though, on the left-hand side. Dankovsky's taking it, which is unusual. Slattery. Dankovsky needs to whip that ball in. He does. Doesn't really do anything. Longstaff's picked it up wide. Guardius. Oh, I thought Guardius had made himself a hero, but he hits the bar, and now Dankovsky, can he put it back in the box? Oh. Of course he can't. Of course he can't put it back in the box. That would be too easy. And the Tomba now to Martins. Come on, let's do some defending. We didn't do any defending. Of course we didn't, because we're all afraid to make a tackle. Dankovsky with a header, but only as far as Spielman. It was an awful header. Garcia's coming down the left. This is surely going to be their 4th of the tie. No, Raggett does some defending, but Longstaff again with awful headed clips. I don't know why we're trying to head it clear. We never get it to our own player, as proved again with a header to Asale. Asale's through. Luckily, Kuszak's got his head screwed on. But this is just... We are going to make that change. That's definitely a change we're going to make. We are going to try and show some more passion, because let's pretend like we do want to win it. It's just nothing's working. Matty Longstaff's been booked. I'm going to tell him to ease off tackles, because at this stage I want to make some tackles. I don't think I've seen him make any tackles in ages. He doesn't like to tackle. And this is just all round poor. Dankowski's got himself a free kick. Let's get it into the box. Can we do anything with it? Raggett heads it wide. Which don't seem to be... We're producing chances and we're not doing anything with them. And that's what's really frustrating. Dankowski's got himself another corner. Finson. Garcia over the top. Let's defend it. Puerto, some defending. It happened. Dankowski's headed it on. And Guardias apparently couldn't be bothered to chase that ball down. And now they're just going to play circles round us. We're being made to look absolutely second rate. Absolutely awful in front of our own fans. It's got really embarrassing. Can someone defend anyone? Let's not have our backs to the attacker, and Asale's got his second of the game. And that's pretty much game over. Pretty much game over. That is utterly, utterly awful. Let's demand more. They couldn't possibly give us less. It's so poor. It's so poor right now. Everything we're attempting to do is poor. And I'm reaching a point where I have to really have a tactical rethink, because we just don't seem capable of producing anything. Like we're dominating possession. We always dominate possession in every game, and no end product comes of it. And Akira Wright's having another utterly atrocious game, and it's just not okay. Let's have a good scream at them on the team talk. Let's get aggressive. Let's tell them they were awful. They seem motivated. Let's be a bit more specific though. Who are we going to tell? We're going to tell Akira Wright. We're going to tell Placheta. We are going to tell Halovnia. Let's tell Puerto. Let's tell Guardias some bad news. Let's be assertive. I'm not happy. Get fired up. Get lit. Get ready. Let's go and actually see if we can chase this game back in. Let's get creative right from the start. Let's go more attacking, because we've really got nothing to lose at this point. And let's see if we can just start to look like a football team again. There's a lot of players here who are not making a case for staying in the side. A lot of players who aren't making a case for being in the side at all. And some of them are making a case for the transfer list, if I'm honest. Let's make a sub, because this is... I can't be dealing with these anxious players. Right. Guardias, get off the field. You've been utterly awful. Akira Wright, you've been terrible. We're going to send Lachas on up top. Is Slattery better up top? He's probably not. Let's make you an attacking midfielder. See if playing you in the position you want to play in is going to help. Where are you best at up top? It's a false nine. Oh, I'm not right with a false nine. Jesus, what kind of thing do they think we're doing here? Start with there, and then we're going to have to debate about whether we take off Puerto or Halovnia. Let's try and get creative again, because eventually we have to do something creative, right? Eventually. Don't know what that highlight was. That was pretty much meaningless. I'm completely at a loss. We're going to take Puerto off because he's booked and awful. Bring Rakic on. He's not quite fit, but then frankly, I can't imagine that's going to make much of a difference at this point. So we've got to find 5 goals in 20 minutes. The chances of us actually achieving... We've been trying to close him down better all game. Let's push forward, do something, try and get a goal. Go straight out, very attacking now. Suleimani, Longstaff heads it clear, but only back to their player again, because that's all we're capable of doing, is giving the ball away constantly. Just constantly giving the ball away. Halovnia heads it away to another player on their team. Oh... And they're through again. That's going to be another goal. There genuinely needs to be like a "what the hell are you thinking" shout. I mean, just no one's making tackles. Nobody is making tackles. And okay, They're a better team, I get that, but still, I just don't understand. Why don't we just try concentrating? See if we can not let in another goal for the rest of the game. That would be ideal. That would at least give me some confidence that some of them are professional footballers. I don't ask for a lot, but I do ask that occasionally people pretend to be professional footballers. And now we're going to get absolutely nothing come from anything, because that would be too easy. Everyone's just getting booked because, hey, why not take a fine as well as just being garbage? Utter trash. Utter trash. Is there an aggressive, you are utter trash? Utter trash. Defence. Utter trash. Oh, you down and pressurised? Oh, poor babies. Stop being trash then. Just stop being trash. Where's Guardius? Let's tell Guardius, you were garbage. You were garbage. Absolutely useless. Akira Wright, you were abysmal. Don't do that again, and you were just terrible. Just don't. Just don't. Just everyone's getting yelled at. God, I hope we're in the Europa League, and I hope we perform better than we've been performing recently, because that's just embarrassingly poor. Just embarrassingly poor. Actually disgusted at how bad they were. Akira Wright has earned himself some time sitting on the bench. That's just poor. That was poor too. The aggregate defeat, we were awful. Yellow cards. We've received £981,000, which is beautiful. They're delighted that we reached the third qualifying round of the Champions Cup, which I don't know what our vision was. I think it might have been the third round anyway. And eventually it will show me. One day. There we go. Club vision. They wanted us to reach the second qualifying round. We passed that. We lost the Super Cup. Just... See, even the board are disappointed. Apparently we have reached the Euro Cup. So the Euro Cup is a thing we've reached. We've got to reach the third qualifying round as a minimum, which we appear to have done by virtue of not playing in the thing so far. So let me see who we end up playing, and we'll decide if that's next episode. Back in a tick. Well, after all that negativity, maybe we just got the luck of the draw. This is not a replay. I've not just edited in like footage from the last couple of episodes. We're playing Suduva Marijampol again in the UEFA Cup, Europa League, whatever it is now, fourth qualifying round. We've already beat them twice this season. Okay, it was a 3-1 aggregate. We've beat them twice. And if we win this, we go into, I believe, I'm going to have to check, but I believe this puts us into the Europa League group stage. If I'm not mistaken. It does. It puts us into the group stage if we can win this tie. So, that game is coming up next episode for sure, because I'm going to play Jagiellonia off camera, and then and hopefully we'll win, and then we'll get back to playing Suduva, and hopefully we'll put them out of another European competition this season. They're going to hate us. They're going to hate us so badly. Right, guys, so thank you very much for watching. It's always been a pleasure to have your company. Check out the socials below, Twitter, Insta, Patreon, if you want to drop a couple of shekels my way. Don't feel like you have to, it's just there in case you want to. Don't forget to check out the podcast with Old Lady Plays. Again, that's called Conversations with Complete Strangers. You can find it on Spotify. I think it's on Apple Music already. If you look on my Twitter feed, you'll find it. I'll stick a link below as well if I remember. And yeah, thanks much for watching, guys. Hit the like and subscribe buttons if you have enjoyed it and want to stick around for potentially, we're hoping, big fingers crossed, we're hoping our progression into the Europa League group stage, which would be marvellous. But yeah, until next time, guys, as always, it has been a pleasure to have your company. I've been ChasingLamely. Have a good one.